Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Welcome to episode 5 of Action Figure Window Shopping. So, this is a little series that I'm doing where every week I go around and I find some interesting action figures, statues, collectibles, things like that have caught my eye over the past week, and I come back and share it with you. So, I've got a number of things to show you today as it thunders all around me. So let's get started with this helmet. Now, this is the Mass Effect N7 helmet from Mass Effect Andromeda. It's a 1-to-1 scale helmet, which means that you can wear it. And it's going to cost $130, coming out pretty soon next year in February of 2022, made by BioWare. And, I have a couple of the Marvel Legends helmets, wearable helmets for Ant-Man and also for War Machine. And those cost around the same amount of money when they're new, around $100. Sometimes they're a little bit more expensive than that. But it seems like it's similar in the fact that those tend to have lights and sounds, and this one at least has lights. So it has white lights that illuminate the visor and accents on the sides and back, and it requires two AA batteries that you have to provide yourself. And I just hope that this particular helmet is made better than some of the Marvel Legends ones that I have, because those two, they tend to be a little flimsy, especially with that Ant-Man helmet. The back panel doesn't really want to stay on. It's kind of sharp plastic. It's just, it's real finicky. But what more can you expect when you're only spending a little bit over $100 for a 1-to-1 scale helmet? So I'm hoping that this one, would be better quality than that. This is not the more iconic helmet from the original Mass Effect games 1, 2, and 3. Of course, this is the Andromeda variant, and a lot of people don't really care for Andromeda. I can understand why. But hey, I'm just a sucker for all things Mass Effect, especially when it has N7 on it. So this definitely caught my eye this morning, and I wanted to bring it into this video as the first thing that I show. All right, so let's move on from Andromeda. And let's bring it back to our galaxy, bring it back to Earth, albeit a very craptacular one, if this guy is going to be involved. So this is the 2000 AD Judge Dredd, 1/18th scale figure. Now this is going to put him around 4 inches or so. So it's not a very big figure, but he is still very affordable. $20. Going to be coming out in August of 2022. So even though I'm not a 4-inch scale kind of person when it comes to collectibles, this one I still thought was pretty cool because it looks like, even though it's so small, it still looks like it has some pretty decent detail. Here's a close up on his face, and just kind of look at those shadows and those lines and that upside down smile kind of grimace thing he's got going on. He's got the badge that says Dread on it. So, I thought for this scale, it still looks like a pretty interesting figure here. So of course they're going to say that it's highly detailed and superposable, but what you can't really expect too much from a $20 figure of this scale. But I figure since we don't get too many Judge Dredd figures that are at a very affordable retail kind of a pricing, I thought this would be a pretty cool thing to check out. So if you wanted something to go along with your Judge Dredd, if you wanted to cross universes and have him fight someone, why not have him fight this guy? Know who this is? So this is Robocop II. This is the battle-damaged robot with Kane, his brain on the inside of it. So this is going to come out in September of 2022, also made by Hiya Toys in the same 1/18th scale. So what makes this one kind of interesting is that it seems that in addition to, having a pretty cool looking mech suit, it also has movie accurate sound effects and dialogue. So it's got a little bit more going on for it. It's fully articulated. And yeah, I like the fact that you can see Kane's face in this screen right here. And it's not like that in all of the pictures. Like you look at this one, the screen is off. So I'm wondering if there's something that you can activate to bring his face up and he says something and then, it just kind of goes out. And that would be pretty cool. And for this to be at that 1/18th scale, that looks like it's pretty well detailed. Even for the promotional photos. So it looks like they put some work into that. So that cane looks pretty cool. And $49.99 doesn't seem too unreasonable. They don't say exactly how tall it is. They just kind of stick with the scale. But of course, it's going to be taller than like Dread at 4 inches. But yeah, it might be a good addition to have this drug addicted psycho with a brain inside of a killer robot as part of your display. But if you are into something a little bigger, but you still like Robocop, NECA has jumped right back into the fold because they're coming out with the ultimate Robocop action figure again. So they're doing it again, and your chance to get it is going to be in April of 2022. I don't know about this price though. $37.99. That's pretty pricey for a NECA Ultimate figure by a little bit. So I'm thinking really more of the 30 to max $35 range, but even 35 is kind of pushing it. So we'll see. This might be the big bad toy store tax. But yeah, this particular Robocop figure, he has the spring-loaded gun holster. And from what I understand, that gun holster was a bit of a problem for the earlier figures that had a tendency to break. So hopefully NECA has gotten that sorted out for this Robocop. But just based on these pictures, this Robocop looks really good. And he comes with this little muzzle effect for the gun. And there's the interchangeable head. I wish we can get a straight on shot of Murphy. There he is. So there's the Murphy head. But if it were me, I would have the helmet on him just like that. So that's really cool. They got the pose down right, kind of tilted. I like that. I like that. So, of course, it's going to be 7 inches, and it says chair not included. So, separately with the battle damaged Robocop, which is the next figure that we're going to check out, because that one's a little bit more expensive, but it's also made by NECA. Big Bad Toy Store has it listed at $70, which is a big no. You cannot charge $70 for this. It is too much. But it comes with the battle damaged Robocop. This one does not have the spring loaded gun holster, but he does come with this chair. In this chair, as you can see, it fits him, so it's going to be a pretty wide chair. He's 7 inches wide. It's over 8 inches tall, and then it also swivels, and these monitors also swivel as well. So little extra value for your money. Does not include ED209. That figure is not included. But it does come with an interchangeable head, a interchangeable data spike fist, Auto 9 pistol, and the attachable muzzle effect. So for this product photography, it's a lot of sitting in the chair. You kind of have it that you kind of have to have it that way, because if you're going to have the chair, you got to show them sitting in it most of the time, right? But yeah, this you definitely need to carve out some space, maybe on a top shelf or something, if you want to include that chair with the Robocop. But check out that data spike fist. That's pretty cool. And I do like the battle damaged effects that they do have on him. Like right there, scarred right there on the chest, scars on the face. So again, really good Robocop. And they kind of nailed that lower jaw mouth or mold. They really nailed that. So that figure looks really good. I just hope that when it actually hits store shelves, it's not $70, because that would be a no-go from me. Now, in the last video, I showed some like deep sea diver figures that I thought were pretty cool because it reminded me of BioShock. And that same company also makes these Viking action figures that are pretty pricey. They got 3 of them here. Let's just look at this first one. And this is Empire Legend Viking Conquerors Feudal Lord Legendary version, 1/6 scale figure. And man, that is really, really cool looking. Now, I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so I'm kind of still in that mindset of Vikings and crazy armor like this with the wings on the helmet and the animal fur and chainmail and just all that glorious battle stuff. So these figures look really cool. Look at that shield and the detail on the shield that stands that this figure has. I mean, this looks really cool. But it needs to be $450. Let's see what else we got going on. So it's 13 inches tall. It has real fabric clothing, which is something that we collectors like to see. It has 6 pieces of interchangeable palms and bandages, red coat, purple pants, leather boots, winged helmet, upper body chain armor, belt, fur edged cloak, alloy spear. I mean, you can read it. It's a lot of different accessories here, and it is lightning outside. But yeah, this is a really cool looking figure. And then let's take a look real quick at the second one. Look at that tattoo on his face. That's another thing that you can do in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Put tattoos on your character. But man, that looks really good. I really do like these figures, man. It's just they're pricey though. This is almost a little bit beyond standard Hot Toys prices. So this one is $350, 2022 and quarter two, and then the least expensive one is this the standard version, 279, and you can see he's a lot more basic. Doesn't look like he's wearing like any fur or anything, but it's still a pretty good looking figure. It looks like the same guy. So this is the same head sculpt from the last one. He's just has a different getup. Oh, and look at that. There's the cloth goods right there. So yeah, these are some pretty nice figures. I like them. They're just pricey, but I like to see things that are different from brands and properties that I'm not familiar with, because I just think that sometimes you got to think outside the box. It can't just always be Marvel and DC and video game franchises that I like seeing the different things like this. Speaking of things that from video games, this also caught my eye. This is from Resident Evil 2. Leon Kennedy, also 1/6 scale, Hot Toys kind of pricing, $289. And I love Resident Evil. Personally, I would prefer a Resident Evil 4 Leon Kennedy, but Resident Evil 2, why not? This guy comes with a ton of stuff, a ton of accessories. Like, you're going to need a little plastic bag dedicated solely to this figure for all the accessories that you get. I mean, look at this. Yeah, he gets hands and blah, blah, blah. Look at all these weapons he gets. Matilda pistol, gun stock, muzzle brake, high capacity magazine, M19 handgun, W870 handgun, W870 long barrel and shotgun stock, LE5 submachine gun, anti-tank rocket, flash grenade, hand grenade, 2 combat knives, 4 keys, first aid spray, radio set with hand mic, flashlight, handgun ammo, large caliber handgun ammo, and shotgun shells. And of course, the interchangeable hands and all that stuff. He has so many accessories. It is absolutely insane. And of course, he looks like look at that. That is really cool. Young, fresh faced, just got on the force Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2. Hopefully they do a Resident Evil 4 version if they haven't already, because that's the one that I like the most, because his jacket is extremely dapper. But yeah, really cool looking figure here. And this is from Damn Toys, I guess. Here's some more that they have, because I was curious about what other figures that they have. And look at this. This is amazing. This is a life-size bust of Vito Corleone. Look at that. It's $3,000, but man, that looks really, really good. 24.4 by 11.81 inches, made of silicone and polystone. Limited to 499 pieces because we could not make another one for an even 500. And of course, based on the Godfather movie. But this is, wow, that is extremely lifelike. That'd be great for a big Godfather fan that's got some legally obtained money in order to afford $3,000 for this type of statue bust. But yeah, looks really good. You want something a little bit more affordable, also from a series that you are familiar with. We're going to take it over to Sideshow Collectibles and look at this President Loki for $285. He's about a foot tall, but man, does he look good. He looks just like Tom Hiddleston. I mean, look at that. He's a dead ringer. They did a very awesome job. I mean, look at that smile. He's such a jerk. And then even on his suit jacket, you can see like it's kind of tattered along the sides and stuff like that. Just like a politician. Got that big bright smile, but you're just dirty and dingy and broken underneath. But yeah, he also comes with those daggers. Look at that smile. That is such a great head sculpt. Beautiful. And then he also comes with the alligator Loki. See if we can get a picture of that. There he is, alligator Loki, right down at the bottom. So if you've watched the Loki series on Disney Plus, you see that we kind of briefly got a glimpse of President Loki. This is where this is from, but he looks really good. I mean, just look at that quintessential politician. All right. Yeah, so this is really good. I really do like this figure. I look at a lot of Sideshow action figures and statues and stuff, but for some reason this one has really captivated me. So great job with this. This is really, really good. And while supplies last, 10% off select items ready to ship. So I guess that doesn't include this one. But hey, plenty of time to save for pre-order. Comes out between January and March of 2023. Awesome. So now I'm going to start to wrap this video up. But before I end these videos, one little tradition that I like to do is pick one really expensive item that there's no way I would be able to afford without putting myself in horrible financial jeopardy. And this is what I chose this week. This is from Iron Studios, and this is a DeLorean from Back to the Future Part 2. One of my favorite movies and one of my favorite series of all time, 1/10 scale, which I think is going to put it around maybe 20-ish inches long. But let's just take a look at some of these photos. I wish it had started with the car and not the interior, so that you can get an idea of what this looks like. Let's go forward, not backwards. You got the flux capacitor right there. Just a really nicely done DeLorean. It weighs 34.8 pounds, or what's that, 15, almost 16 kilograms, almost 9.5 inches tall by 22.8 inches wide, 14.6 inches deep. So what did I say, about 20 feet long? Yeah, okay. But yeah, you got the wheels that fold down like that, and it's on this really cool looking base for $2,000. Now, you can buy a lot of really cool statues and stuff for $2,000 and under. But I just love the DeLorean, and I've always kind of said to myself, if money was no object and I can go out and get whatever car I want or whatever, I would track down a DeLorean and drive that thing around like crazy. I don't care if it's old. I'm going to drive it. But yeah, those are all of the collectibles, figures, and whatnot that I came across over the past week that caught my eye. And I thought this was a pretty good mix of stuff this time. Got some inexpensive things, got some middle ground things, and some pretty darn expensive items. So we kind of hit all three tiers here. So of course, as usual, I'm going to be back next week with another edition of this for some things that catch my eye this week. And I hope that you join me for that. So if you're interested in these kind of things or reviews of action figures and stuff like that, do me a favor and subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. Let me know what you are interested in so that maybe I can check it out, put it in the next video. All right, awesome. So again, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, I'm Jeremy. I'll talk to you later.